So I'm in Marquette. I'm in this like special spot, right? It's in between these two brooks. It's at like the top of a hill. Well, it's towards the top of a hill. The top of the hill, I'm pretty sure there's like a Baptist church and a Catholic church. Anyway, I came up here just because it's the only place that felt right to go, given the circumstances of how I had to leave, you know? I swear I got this feeling the whole time I was there. This is at the extended stay in Roseville. My second night there, I got up with a stomachache and locked myself out of my room at like, I don't know, 4 o'clock in the morning. It's terrible. There's no one there overnight. And so I was basically locked out of my room until 8:30 in the morning, right? Just wandering the halls. It was terrible. Felt like it being in the hospital, Anyway, so I'm sitting there, right? And I'm just waiting right by the front desk, right by the front door. And then the kids start coming down for school. And there's a girl standing outside. And then I see these two big black dudes walk up to the front door. And as soon as I see them, I just stand up, and I start walking towards them. Like I didn't want them to see me like sleeping or whatever. So I just walked up. I opened the door for him and let him in and got on the phone and was like, this motherfucker ain't working, blah, blah, blah. And, they went inside and they just stood there for a little bit. And then they left and he's like, we're going to go somewhere else. And I was like, all right, cool. And then the lady came in the morning and it was like just a weird situation. She was like, wait, the phones aren't working. That never happens. Why aren't the phones working? It was just a bunch of shit. And then I started putting pieces together. I'm like, they were either going to rob this place or they were going to rob me or they were going to kidnap one of these kids. That's what was going to happen. They did not expect me to be up, and just like wandering the halls or just sitting right in the front. They didn't expect that. I let them in the front door. Something happened because the energy there shifted. And when I say energy, I mean like how people acted towards me. The front desk lady, who was the one who came in the morning and made me her keys, she's the one who was nice to me. I actually came back down later and I tipped her $100 because I knew right then these people were trying to rob me because I had just cashed 3 paychecks from the last job I had at Terry's Terrace. And those people they're wild people, man, like wild people making just horrible decisions. They're all drunk all the time. And I didn't say anything too mean when I left, but I think it's just the fact that I left and I know that, I'm kind of like on a higher caliber just because of the experience that I have of living in Ann Arbor and busting my ass and learning everything I could at the bottom for like 10 years, So sorry, lady just got out of the car in the back. She's been sitting behind me for like 20 minutes. It's these blue cars. Anyway, that's a different story. So the whole time I was there, it was like I was on edge the whole time. Plus, I knew that I had people like looking for me and trying to find me and could not stand the fact that I was trying to have my own space. They couldn't stand it. And so it was already like, okay, I'm on edge. And then so the last day I was there, right, I was going to sleep and then check out in the morning. I got this fucking really hardcore feeling. And it wasn't night. It was like 5 o'clock in the afternoon. I think that's when it was. Or 4:30 when I started to get the feeling like I need to go now. Because it kept feeling like I was dodging people. Because I would take a different route every time I would go out to smoke. And it just kept feeling like I was dodging people. And there were some sketchy characters that I would get this intense anxiety when they would come around me. You know what I mean? I didn't even know they were there. It would be like, I would just start feeling a certain way and I'd be looking around and be like, oh, there's that golden Dodge Caliber. You know what I mean? Or there's that, what was it? It was like a burgundy F-150, or something like that. But anyway, so that day, it was like 4:30, I started being like, I need to get the fuck out of here. Or like right now. And so I listened to my gut and I did, and I grabbed as much as I could. I left a bunch of shit there. But I grabbed as much as I could, all the important stuff, and I left. As I was walking out the side door, because I was very quiet when I left, as I was walking out the side door, the door from the stairwell up on the second floor had closed, right? And made noise, because I made sure I opened it really quietly. And as soon as that happened, I heard a bunch of footsteps running from the upstairs above me. And then by the time I got out into the parking lot, this dude who I had saw before and talked to before came running out the door looking super distressed. And I looked right at him in the eyes and I smiled, right? And he was looking like distressed. And I knew, okay, he was going to try to fuck me up or something, try to steal from me, I had a bunch of money on me, like a bunch of cash, I don't anymore. Now I've got it on different, more secure forms of payment, but yeah, so I get in my car, right? And then this is how I knew it was something, was because as I got in my car, and then there was that burgundy Dodge, or burgundy, like, F-150 sitting out the side door that I took. And then I saw the guy who came out looking distressed, right? He got in the passenger seat of that car, and then the dude who was in the driver's car, they took the fuck off. And then as they were waiting to turn out of the extended stay onto 13 Mile, they were going to make a left, and I started staring at him because I know exactly what's going on, I've been around the block, dude. Like, I know exactly. So I start staring at him, and there's traffic, and instead of waiting for traffic, they pulled out like behind like a bunch of cars that were in the turn lane. It was wild, just to get the fuck away from me, and both of them not looking at me the whole time, and I was staring at them. They were too far away for me to get a license plate, but yeah, and right then I knew, like, holy shit. And then as I pulled away, because in the parking lot of the hotel there was a little white, or a little silver car right by the front door, and its license plate said 007 Jeep, so 007 Jeep. I have a 2007 silver Jeep, right? And that's what tipped me off in the beginning. That's what gave me the anxiety, was seeing that in the parking lot, like, what the fuck? So anyway, as I'm pulling out, right, after I see the suspects, right, I'm pulling out, I make a right, and then I come up to the light, which is 13 in Little Mac, and as I'm turning left, I see a very unique blacked out Cadillac Escalade coming towards me. And it's a very unique Cadillac Escalade. I'm not going to say whose I think it is, but I'm pretty sure I know who it was, which explains why I felt such a extreme sense of anxiety, like I really was being watched, like they were trying to take me out, So anyway, the only thing I could think of was to drive to Marquette. And that's the only thing I can think of, so I just drove to Marquette. Dude, I don't have tires to be up here, like, dude, I can barely go to the store. Like, my car is not in the capacity that people would say should be on the road, right? But it's like, what am I supposed to do, bro? What am I supposed to do? This is what happens when you claim sovereignty over your life and you stop letting people just suck off of you and create a character of you in the community that you live without you knowing it, so that you enter into an environment that already exists. Rather, you go into a blank environment and create your reputation. I've never been able to do that. I've always walked into a system that was already in place, And so I'm leaving that, and I fucking came up here, and I've had some wild experiences since I've been up here. Like, because I'm not going to say, like, I feel like I'm literally being followed, because I don't know that. But it was this heightened sense of anxiety of just, like, what had just happened at the extended stay. It made me feel like, dude, there's prowlers all over the place. And I imagine the people who are chasing me are probably knowing I'm going to a hotel. They probably knowing, like, places that are familiar to me that I would probably want to go. And they know Marquette is, like, a town that I would want to be in, because it's awesome. It's got everything I want, dude. It's got a Salvation Army, a My Community Dental. It's got all of the institutions that have ever supported me, that took me in and helped me. My Community Dental changed my life, gave me these teeth. No one else would help me like that. They did. And I get here and I'm like, holy crap, why is all this stuff here? This is crazy. I was supposed to go to college up here. I got accepted and everything. And then but my dad didn't do his taxes for like 2 years or 3 years at that point. And so the financial aid lady called me from Northern Michigan University. And she's like, what do you want? You can't have it both ways. And I was like, what do you mean? She's like, your dad. You can't live with your dad and get money from the state for college at the same time. And I'm like, he hasn't done his taxes in a year. What am I supposed to do? Like, what the? And anyway, that destroyed me. I remember that conversation very clearly. But now here I am, and it's like, dude, I love this town. This town's fantastic. It's the north. I just wish I just need a car to be able to drive around it. But, I don't know. We'll see what happens. I'm just here minding my own business, trying to just build a relationship with God in the meantime. I got plenty of money, you know what I mean? I just need this snow to melt so that I could drive on the road. Yeah, anyway. Yeah, that's, when I got up here, it's like, it felt like there was I just had that feeling that there was a presence already here that knew I was going to be here, right? Okay. So what I did was I emailed the Michigan Masons in Alma, Michigan. I had a buddy who went to college there. I don't know what he would say about me. I haven't seen him in a very long time. Talked to him 8 months ago. But he went to college there, right? And so maybe that's cool. I don't know. But it would be cool to join. I mean, that would be a great way to really set in stone this direction of my life, one based in spirituality and, systems and structure and, dogma. I mean, in a way, but not traditional dogma. You know what I mean? But I don't know. It's like, dude, what do people want me to do? It's like, what do you want me to do? Like, I don't know. Good thing I saved those 3 paychecks. You know what I mean? Yeah, because I'm totally ready just to chill and just to start my life somewhere fresh, man. Like, I'm ready. I just, and just in a place that I can have a fresh identity that's not sullied by people who are just mad at me because I don't want to let them feed off of me anymore. Because then what I mean by that is like giving people compliments all the time, listening to them complain, listening to their ideas, supporting their ideas, being somebody who's in their corner, right? So that's what I mean by that. And it's just frustrating, it's to live like that. And I don't want to live like that anymore. And it's like, wow, this is what happens when you don't. Like, holy crap, dude. And as far as like fucking people from my last job, I don't know what kind of slander was going around with all those alcoholics and all those bars, but it is something that was not me. Like, it's almost flattering. But, yeah, I don't think this has gone on long enough. All right, I just wanted to get that story out. Yeah, because I'm sitting here. I'm going to recheck into this hotel until the 22nd. Yeah, it's really nice. Rates are cheap right now. And it's a solid hotel, man. And this big red truck showed up the other day. And that's when all the commotion calmed down. I feel like, let me break it down to you, and this is kind of creative, but red is the color of Jesus. Jesus is the red dragon. Okay. Blue, I don't know. I think blue is more of like, it's for God, but it's like Gnostic God. It's like, what would you call it? Merovingian. You know what I mean? It's like, rather than striving to just have faith, it's utilizing one's own psychic abilities and, ethnographic capabilities. Ethnographer, I always thought that was a fun term. Ethnographer. But, yeah, so I don't think there's anything wrong with blue. Blue would be like the Angels. It's the Blue Jays, you know what I mean? But, and I think that's a hierarchy. I do. But, and then white would probably be more in line with, like, the lower level stuff, I don't even want to say it. But, red's the most high, you know what I mean? And, that's what I'm trying to stay with that continuously through this, wondrously wild, wicked way one would wince their weenie on a coal fire at a campfire. Anyway, I'm gonna shut up now. But yeah, it's good to get that story out because there's a lot of confusion. You know what I mean? I think based around that, I know I'm very mysterious and I move quietly. It's because I have to be because it's like there really is people who will call ahead to places just to tell them that I'm a kind of a dumb, really, really nice person who struggles with drugs and just can't get it together, and the people who are calling really love me and they're just worried. That bullshit, dude. It's like, get the fuck out of my life, bitch. Like, sorry. Oh, forgive me. But yeah, no, it's all good fun. I feel good up here. And everybody's got eyes like me. There's something that tells me, like, okay, how they say that the spiritual center shifts? you know, and how it was in Tibet for a really long time. But then as, like, you know, the Earth moves through the solar system or whatnot, like the certain, like, magnetic pole change and yada, yada, yada. Well, I think the new one is here, dude. I do, or something. There's this big fucking mountain or hill, or there's something special about this place. And I would do nothing but take care of it and love it. Just like everybody else here seems to. Anyway, I hope that everybody has a wonderful day. Shout out to the Masons. I don't know if you guys came through and helped me, or if you just took my email application and left. I wouldn't be surprised. But give me a couple of years, man. No one's going to be laughing.